Wa alaikum assalam, bro. So, do you have a radiator which you have a bleed vent and the bleed vent has rounded off and you can't get your bleed key in there, so you can't actually bleed the radiator? This is common. You find this quite a bit on older star radiators. If you have a new star radiator and the bleed key, and you can put a flathead screwdriver in it, for example, you can usually take the whole plug out. The plug's about this big. You can typically take the whole plug out and replace the whole bleed key, the bleed vent. But if it's an older star radiator, the bleed vent will literally just be tiny, about this small. It would be like this small. It'll either be in the side of your radiator or kind of in the back of the radiator. So let's just say this is the panel. It wouldn't be on the outward panel, it would be in the inside of the panel, right? And they sometimes get rounded off, and it happens a lot. So normally when I'm going to properties and I'm doing a boiler swap or anything like that, I'll quickly go around and check all the bleed vents. Because the issue is, if you can't bleed that radiator, you then, once you drain the system, you're not going to be able to fill that. You're not going to be able to fill that back up with water. So that radiator won't work. And what this guy's asking is, there's a thing called easy bleed. Because if you can't take that key out, then you can't bleed that radiator. And what easy bleed is, it's a screw. It's a self-tapping screw which you can screw into the radiator. You screw it into the radiator. It creates a hole because it's self-tapping, right? So it creates the hole and then it plugs the hole. And then that acts as your bleed key, as your bleed vent. So if you undo that screw, it will allow air out and then you can screw it back in. I think it's got a rubber washer on it which seals it and it stops the air coming out. Now, I think they work. I think somebody else told me about this before. Back in the day, whenever I encountered this issue and I was stuck late at night, or you know what I used to do, I'll be honest, I used to pilot it with a drill bit. Very same principle, pilot it with a small drill bit, get a screw, put PTFE around that small screw and screw it into that radiator. And that's what I would do to basically bleed that radiator. And then I'll let the landlord know, by the way, you need a new radiator. The bleed vent is rounded, and I did what I had to do to basically get it working, right? Because it was so late. So I do think they work. I have personally not used an easy bleed before, but I think they would work. I don't see an issue with it. It's just a better way of doing it instead of the old school method that I used to use. Better yet, if you can get the radiator off and use long nose pliers or some type of pliers to pull that one out, you can then still find these little bleed keys, bleed vents on eBay, and you can screw them back in.